Hello, everyone. We're going to take a closer look this chapter. Here we are in Chapter 4, Lesson 1, at those people who come to America as part of that large workforce. Remember, one of the things that made our economy so very successful in the Second Industrial Revolution, in the Gilded Age, was a large workforce of Americans that were readily available to work in these ever-increasing big businesses. And I want to spend a little time here today talking more about where these folks are coming from, why these folks are coming here, and a little bit more about what they experience. So we've got two essential questions here today that we are going to take a look at. One is, why do people migrate? And you're going to see a common theme here, right? People looking to get away from poverty, social unrest, overpopulation, starvation. And that's going to be no matter where you're coming from. And then we want to take a look here throughout this chapter at the differences between the lives of Americans in cities and the lives of Americans in the country. So you have urban life, city life, country life, rural life. And really what you're going to see here is that in urban life, as we have more and more of these folks coming into America, what we're going to see here is exposure to new cultures, leading to what we're going to call ethnic neighborhoods. So, let's take a look at why it is that people come here. And I want to start with talking about Europeans. And in this case, we're looking at three very particular reasons of why large numbers of European immigrants would come to our country during 1880 to about 1900. And primarily, let's set the stage here. Most of these people are coming from Southern Europe. So I've thrown up a map of Europe here to help you kind of understand immigration to America and what it looked like. In the very, very beginning, immigration to America came from these countries that I was highlighting in blue. And this is not just to America, but to France as well. We were looking at immigrants primarily from to Canada as well. Primarily from Great Britain, primarily from France, and there were some migrants coming here even from Spain, but not many. So you've got two big countries where most of these immigrants are arriving from. Most of these immigrants are showing up. Then, in the late 1700s, early 1800s, up to about 1860 or so, migrants are arriving from primarily Germany at this point, and a little bit from Austria-Hungary. So by the time we're talking, which is 1870 to 1900, migrants had been from primarily, at least up to this point in time, West Europe. But now, the place that you're going to see immigrants coming from in the Second Industrial Revolution from about 1880 to about 1900, these folks are going to be from Southern Europe, primarily Italy, what we now know as Greece, Serbia, Bulgaria, parts of Russia, along the Black Sea. And essentially, the compass has shifted. No longer are people coming here from West Europe. They are now coming from Southern Europe. And this is a problem because these people have a very different culture than those who live in West Europe. There is a very different way of living, of thinking, of worshiping, of eating, of getting along in Southern Europe than there is in Western Europe. Forget the fact that most of these people coming here were looking to escape poverty. Forget the fact that these people that were coming here were looking to escape social classes. And by that, I'm actually talking about a very specific, very rigid social system where you have kings and queens at the top, right? The nobility. And then you had those people who were wealthy merchants. And then you had the vast majority of people in Europe, the average peasant, Okay, what they're trying to get away from those social classes where over here we don't have any of that. We don't have kings and nobility or any of that nonsense, right? We just have people that are average citizens. So they're looking to get away from that poverty, looking to get away from those social classes that made it very hard to move up in the world, and they're looking to escape from. You can see here these three very simple things: overpopulation, military service, religious persecution, and high food prices. These things, folks, are the same things that those people in Western Europe wanted to get away from when they were coming over here, whether it was France or English people or Germans. But now what we're looking at then are not the same population of people coming here. Now they're coming from Southern Europe, and people from Western Europe are incredibly angry that these new groups of people, very diverse, very different